Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jerove, the only Jerove in the world. Google it. And today I will be going over the 7 steps that will help you build a profitable personal brand, irrespective of how many followers that you have. You may have 1,000 followers, you may have 10K, 100K followers. And the mistake that a lot of people do when it comes to personal branding is this one thing that is being implemented by the people on screen right now. These entrepreneurs are in several different niches. However, they are printing millions, tens and hundreds of millions of dollars online. And you can also take a piece of the pie yourself if you implement the exact same principle that these successful personal brands have in common. And the funny thing is, you might be wondering, who is this guy? Is he even qualified to tell me what to do? Yes, I am behind the scenes working with 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs, scaling their personal brands through the leveraged creator way, which I'll be going over today. Now, let me ask you this, okay? When you look at the brands over here, what is the one thing that they have in common? I'll give you a few seconds right now. So, the number one thing that they all have is clear positioning. Let's define personal brand. All a personal brand is your association and pairing them together. What are the things that you associate with you, and what are the aspects that make you unique? So for example, when you think of Michael Jordan, you think of Nike, Air Jordan. That brand in itself is just a pairing of 2 different entities and what you associate them with. Because Michael Jordan, he has built a brand and a legacy that outlasts his game time, because he hasn't even played in years and decades, but he's got that strong brand that has allowed him to continue over time. And the same thing goes with these people. They have clear positioning. When you think of Iman Gadzhi, who's generated over $100 million plus with digital products online, he originally started off being known as the social media marketing agency guy. And then he now has just become a guru, an expert at selling digital products and scaling up other online businesses. And right now he's pushing AI. When you think of Serge Guattari, and if you look at his content, he is pushing AI infrastructures to help grow businesses. When you think of Lara Costa, if you know who she is known and has positioned herself as the expert at personal branding in the LinkedIn niche. Ali Abdaal, he is a doctor turned entrepreneur and author, and he is known for his productivity and YouTube scaling content. When you think of Sue Go, he is known as a personal branding expert. So when you look at me, the only driver in the world, I'll be real, I'm not even that famous yet. I know I will be one day. As of this video right now, I only have like 25K followers on Instagram and less than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I am proof that you do not need to have a huge audience in order to make thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars online. Over the years, I've been able to help over 635 plus 6- to 8-figure entrepreneurs through my consulting, in-person events, one-on-one consultations, done for you content agency clients as well. And I have still to this day continued to host global networking and in-person masterminds, both online and of course, as you can see, actually meeting people in real life. And there are definitely some people here that you may recognize on the screen right now that I'm connected with, either through doing business together, being in the same network, and also connecting other people, for example, placing other talent in other people's companies in order to help them scale. And these are a few people that I've recently made content with. For example, I was on Hassan's video. Shout out to Hassan, one of the best personal branding content strategists in the info niche that we're in right now. He recently had me on his show that is not released yet, but Hassan was behind the breast scales video blowing up and the 10v1 concept. He brought that from the mainstream into the online space, the online info product space. And the people that I presented my business idea to, as you can see, there's me with my suitcase being a little cheeky brand outlier, confusing the guys. But these guys right here were multi-millionaires, and they also implement the same thing, which is very clear positioning. For example, Musa, he has blown up and made over $40 million with TikTok and short form content. And he's running a software company right now. When it comes to Samir, he makes $20 million a year at the age of 20 with his e-com brands. And I've also leveraged my own personal brand to work and network with some of the top industry leaders in this info space. Even though I'm not famous, I'm not popular yet, I am known by some of the few people in the niche, but this just acts as proof that you too can tap into this for yourself, as long as you are a master at your craft and you position yourself well. And one thing that I do with my clients is help them position in a premium way, in a way in which that separates them from other people that sell the exact same thing. Because guys, let's be real, so many people in the space right now sell the exact same thing as you. There are another 1,000 people that offer the same product, the same service. There are obviously a few things that differentiate you from what it is that they do, but the thing that will continue to stand the test of time and allow you to thrive with your business is simply being your true authentic self, leaning into your unfair advantages and showcasing that with your personal brand. So I'm going to be going over that in today's video. So if you want to see some of the other people that I'm connected with in the space, just drop me a message on Instagram, go through my content, run me up my watch time, and you will be able to see. So today we're going to be going over 7 steps, okay? Step 1, define your ideal follower profile and your ideal client profile. So you need to be very, very clear that with personal branding, it's going to take time and it's going to take patience. You cannot expect every single post to go viral, because if you have the intention of trying to go viral as your sole metric and your sole goal with your personal brand, you will not be building your personal brand in a sustainable way that allows you to actually have impact. Because the top personal brands that I've gone through today, they all have a bigger impact and a bigger goal than just making money and going viral. They provide value to the market, and those that provide the most value will be able to be rewarded by the market. So the second step, build your leveraged creator archetype. This is what I like to label it as, where you engineer the feeling you want to give your viewer by building a parasocial relationship and build resonance. So you may be a coach, agency owner, or a consultant, and you need to be very, very clear with, number 1, your positioning. As I mentioned, what do you want to be known for? You want to be clear as to who you are speaking to, because if you target your ideal follower, which is a broader segment of the market that you can target, within that segment, you will find your ideal clients, and the way in which you pull them out and get them to raise their hands in your content is by having a different set of stages when it comes to the funnel of your content. And you can use story sequences to do the actual selling and hand raising. For example, you promoting a campaign, or you getting people to vote on a poll or reply to your story for a lead magnet, right? And within that, there are inevitably going to be people that actually have the money to invest and move forward with you because they know, like, and trust you. The second step, build your leverage creator archetype. So engineer the feeling, as I mentioned, you want to give your viewer to build a parasocial relationship. A parasocial relationship is essentially you building that bond between you and your audience without them even meeting you in real life. Have you ever watched the Sidemen or the Beta Squad, which are the people that I watched growing up on YouTube? And I feel like I know them already, even though I may not have met all of them. The fun fact is, I actually have met a couple of them because some of them lived next to me whilst I was at uni in London. But I digress. They have put so much content out there. They showcase their personality, they showcase their expertise. And the same thing goes for all of these business owners, which is why you have to choose how you want to come across online, and you have to be intentional from the get-go. Because if you are not intentional from the get-go as to how you want to position yourself, how you want to be remembered when people are talking about you in rooms that you aren't in, then you will never be able to have impact with your personal brand and build a sustainable business off the back of it. So, do you want to be known as more of the relatable friend? And if you want to look at some examples, I put some Instagram accounts here of very, very good examples of accounts that you can look at and study, because they showcase that relatable friend vibe. And one way they do it is implementing iPhone style videos. Portrait videos do it very, very well with the point of views, and also the way in which their tonality is, the way they speak. And one easy format that these guys are doing is simply just using B-roll and using a voiceover on top of it. The aspirational mentor. So these are people that have already seen success. A lot of these business owners have seen success outside of just selling info products and online consulting. So if you are someone that has already generated a lot of credibility through the real life business that you have done, whether it be a brick and mortar business, or it may be your done for you content agency, for example, or done for you service that you have been paid for again and again and again, and people have taken out their card to trust you with their hard-earned cash in order for you to deliver a service. And if you've been able to do that and have a repeatable process, you have more than enough credibility. Because in order to help someone online, you only need to be 1 to 3 chapters ahead minimum in order to help them out. Because the most qualified person you're able to help are the versions of you before not too long ago. So for example, with these people here, all of their offers vary, because sometimes they're charging super high ticket, like 10 to 30K. Some are charging 5K to a mass market because they have a huge audience. And some, they even charge $400, $500, less than $1,000, less than $100, because they have that huge audience that allows them to make money on the front end with the low ticket products. And then from those people that purchase the low ticket products, they ascend into the higher ticket programs that they have. Value-driven educators. So these people right here are value-driven because they're known for the pure value that they give. They may not necessarily talk about their stories a lot, which I do actually recommend, because storytelling is a great way in which you can get people to know, like, and trust you at scale, and add your personality in your content, allowing you to build those deeper parasocial relationships and get people to consume more of your content. Because you need to remind yourself, at the end of the day, you should have the mindset of no one knows who you are. That is how you should treat every single day. No matter how many followers you get, no matter how many times you go viral, you need to remind yourself, no one knows you. Because the number one highest leverage task that you should be doing as an online founder is getting more people to know you, getting more eyeballs, and getting the right types of eyeballs, which is why it's so important to build your leverage creator archetype. Take parts from these different archetypes and make them into your own. One piece of advice that I always give my clients is take inspiration from 3 to 5 creators. It doesn't have to be in the exact same niche. And make a list of things that you like about them and things that you don't like about them, and what you want to implement with your personal brand and what you don't want to be known for with your personal brand. Because if you do this exercise, I can guarantee you will have a lot more clarity as to how you present yourself online, and you'll be able to take inspiration. Remember guys, you do not need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to building your personal brand, especially in a profitable way. If you take concepts from existing successful personal brands, it means that there's demand for it. And where there is demand, there is profit. Whether you need to go to the drawing board and have to copy a few videos, as long as you add your own spin to it, which is your own stories, your own experiences, your own terminology, your own visual aesthetic, and the style, the way in which you present yourself, you will be able to set yourself apart. 3, create your leveraged credibility vault. So have social proof. At the end of the day, guys, we live in a world where people do business with other people they know, like, and trust. I've said this several times. You need to build your vault. This is a huge mistake that I see a lot of people miss out on when it comes to building a personal brand. They don't have a collection in an organized way where they have the social proof of cash collected, revenue generated, testimonials, personal stories, client wins, transformations. And these are the things that if you showcase properly and you position yourself and you optimize your Instagram, your YouTube, you have your highlights locked in, you're showcasing the results that you're getting for your clients, you showcase your systems and processes and the ways in which you do things differently to the other competitors that are in your niche, you will be able to stand out. And you will be able to be seen as someone that can be trusted and someone that people want to work with. Number 4, market research. As I mentioned, take 3 to 5 creators that are in your niche and also in other complementary niches or completely different niches, so that you can really make that unique individual personal brand for yourself. Because if you just copy from one specific person, people are going to say, oh, you're trying to copy this person, you're doing the exact same style, or the way in which that they do the captions, the way in which they have the lights and the guru wall in the back, or the glasses, the shades, blah 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 blah. I take inspiration from people outside of the business niche, and I am just being my true authentic self. I love wearing shades, I love wearing frames because it adds to my vibe. This is something that is my true authentic self, and it's just something I love to do. So what is something that you love to do? How do you want to dress? Do you want to wear a suit? Sometimes I wear a suit, sometimes I wear a leather jacket like this. Your visual design is so key because it's what sets you apart, and people make their first impression on you in a split second. And you always tend to attract people that want to do work with you if they match your vibe, even when it comes to the way in which you dress. So the way in which you dress, you present yourself, your studio setup, the place that you're shooting in is so key, and I will be making a ton more videos, but obviously I don't want to bore you guys. Step 5, create your unique leveraged aesthetic. And what I mean by this is you want to have a unique color palette that matches your vibe. How do you want to present yourself? The fonts, you don't have to reinvent the wheel and try use some next level font. Use a font that feels authentic to you, that helps you amplify your message. And especially the point that I just mentioned, your aesthetic, the way in which you look, the way in which you dress, the way in which you talk, your tonality, the language that you use. That is your unique leveraged aesthetic, and that is what's gonna set you apart. Because if you sound like a robot and you sound like every other single person, other people are just not gonna listen to you. And I can guarantee that if you take one thing away from today's video and you implement it, I would say get crystal clear in positioning, which involves getting clear on your unique leveraged aesthetic. And that, I can guarantee, will help you guys get more clarity on exactly how you can differentiate yourself when it comes to personal branding. Step 6, test and iterate. You want to test a bunch of different formats, whether it be different angles. You might do widescreen, you might do portrait. I'm gonna actually pull up my Instagram, give me a sec. You want to test a bunch of different formats. So for example, sometimes it might be widescreen like this. The best content that I've seen are some of the most low effort pieces of footage ever recorded. For example, one of my clients, he posted it, and it might just be Aura Farm B-roll. And also you with other people. For example, like this, Sue, let's be real guys. He is someone that you probably know if you've come across his video. And he's one of the industry leaders, one of the best when it comes to personal branding and content. And you want to be able to associate yourself with other high level people that you're around, if that is the case. That's one of the unfair advantages that I have. I have a very vast network, and I showcase that through my content, as you can see. Let's watch this real quick. So yeah, these are just a few examples, and you can just go through the rest of my reels to show the other types of formats that I test out. And guys, I don't even go viral. I'll be real. I don't have crazy amounts of views, yet I'm able to charge tens of thousands of dollars up front several times, again and again and again and again and again, because I position myself as a premium personal brand. So you want to test and iterate, and then you leverage the winning formats. Once you start optimizing for content that gets you ICP followers, so the ideal followers that you want to connect with and potentially have conversations to sell to, and also people that like and share and actually save your content. Those are really good formats: share, saves, and comments, because that means people are engaging and trying to send it to other people. So leverage the winning formats that work well for you. I literally have clients that make funny content and swear in their content, and it gets them a ton of engagement that actually helps them get more clients. So guys, if you want access to the Leverage Brand Bible, which is the exact asset that I share with my 6 to 8 figure clients, just DM me Bible and I will give it to you. It is a worksheet that I let them go through when I onboard them, and it helps you get clarity on your personal brand with your positioning, your messaging, the way in which you can leverage your story and your assets so that you can have that unique brand. So guys, that is how you position your personal brand within the 7 steps. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. This is my first video back in a long time, so if you've made it this far, I appreciate it a lot. If you are an entrepreneur that is wanting help with your personal brand to make more money, whether it be selling a product, a service, you want to help your overall personal brand for networking opportunities, for example, and open up new doors, it is the most valuable asset that you can have as an online entrepreneur, especially for the rest of the decade. And if you aren't building a personal brand and you aren't making content, you will be left behind. So don't sleep on it, guys. Okay, that is it for today, and I really appreciate you for your time, guys. Currently the head of content for an 8-figure company right now, so I do work behind the scenes on that, and I do know my shit, although my current socials don't reflect all the results I've been able to get. Hopefully I showed you a few of the results and the connections, the networks I've had because of me practicing what I preach through building a personal brand that leverage create away. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. And as always, stay hydrated, stay motivated, and stay blessed. Stay leveraged. Peace.